I'm Luke Brailer, and a zombie apocalypse is something you might only think to see in a science fiction movie or a video game, but it's actually something going on right now in our animal kingdom. Today I'm going to be talking to you about chronic wasting disease in deer, otherwise known as CWD. The first case of CWD dates back to the late 1960s, where it was first found in Colorado. Since then, it was found in Canada in 1981, and today it is most prominent in the Midwestern states of Wyoming and Colorado. It is also found in Canada, in trace amounts in Norway and South Korea. So what is CWD? CWD comes from prion disease known as transmissible spongiform encephalopathies, or TSE for short, and it is the only TSE that affects free-range animals. It is most comparable to the mad cow disease that is found in farm animals. Some symptoms of CWD mostly affect the brain of the deer. Firstly, it makes the deer eat far less, which makes them end up starving themselves, which leads them to death. Secondly, it makes them much more hostile to other animals and predators. If they are hostile towards a predator, it usually does not work out for them, and it ends up leading to their death as well. Lastly, it has been seen that it makes the deer more likely to eat their own fecal matter, which introduces more cases of disease, which could also end up killing the deer at a more rapid rate. The incubation period of CWD is about 1.5 to 2 years long, which means that in the deer, it is not really seen as a disease until the final months. And during those final months, if the deer has not died by any other cause, such as a car accident or hunting, the deer is going to die, and there's no cure for it yet. How do these deer get infected? Most deer get infected from mother. If an infected mother gives birth to a fawn, that fawn will automatically be born with CWD and will not live to see past 2 years. Also, traces of the disease have been found in fecal matter, which we found out some deer are more likely to eat if they have another disease, which will introduce this disease to them, and it will also lead them to death. There is no cure for this disease yet, but Dr. Frank Bastian at Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, says that in his research he's found out that the disease is in fact not prions, but are actually spiroplasms. And he says that if more scientists and researchers develop their studies into spiroplasms instead of prions for this disease, that a cure could be found in at least a year. So what does this mean for humans? For humans, it really means that the meat could be dangerous. The CDC says that there is no known cases of humans contracting the disease, but they said if you are skeptical about your meat that you got from a deer having it, to always get it checked out by officials. It also affects hunters because hunters deal with these deer on a daily basis, and if they come in contact with an aggressive deer, they will be able to defend themselves off of it. But say someone's not a hunter and say they're walking in the woods, they won't be able to defend themselves from these deer. And a deer is much larger than a human, so it could turn out very badly for them. And in more populated areas of CWD, if hunting, you will really be able to tell which deers have it because they are far smaller, far skinnier, and slower, and they look much weaker than the healthy deer. So it's best to try and avoid packs of deer that have this disease introduced to them, because if one deer has it, it usually means that other deer, as the younger ones, will also have it because it is instilled at birth. Thank you for paying attention, and I really hope you learned something today. I hope you learned that you really don't know what's going on out there, and there's really not much we can do to learn except if we go online. But at the end of the day, I just want everybody to be safe when they're out. If they ever come encounter with a deer, make sure to keep your distance, and if it tries to attack you, get any help you possibly can. Thank you.